Hello guys, it's Sharif here with Engadget. I'm sitting next to Ian from a training company called Giant, but you're also a Wacom evangelist.
I'm indeed.
And you can give us a quick tour of the new Cintiq 13 HD, which has a number of components to it. A new stylus, a new box for the stylus, the graphic tablet itself, and also a stand over here.
Yes, not a problem. What we have here is the new 13-inch HD, as you see. A lot more slimlined, a lot smoother, an awful lot lighter. What we also have is we're working directly here just flat on the table, but we have this pretty cool stand that comes with it, and the stand allows us just to clip onto the bottom and have 4 different angles in which we can view that. So we can have it flat on the stand, this is straight down, or quite simply just by lifting it up we can pop up, flip it in so it's at a right angle for us to get stuck in and play when we're going to do some editing within Photoshop. So what I'm going to do here today is I can actually increase that stand to the second option, just clips up, flips in, or I can increase it to the third option. Let's come straight up. Now the third is quite a high angle, it's very good for display as opposed for actual working on, so I'm just going to cut it right down. I'm actually, for this presentation, going to cut it right down onto the desk just so we can see. Now, some of the great things about this display and the actual pen itself is that you're working directly on an image. So whenever you want to retouch an image, when you want to clean up an image, you want to do any type of corrections to an image, then instead of using hand-eye coordination, you're actually displaying straight into the image. So we can do hotspots, lines and wrinkles, color corrections. We can add in color, add in makeup onto images. I have a whole series of corrections in this image which we use as training files, which we take people through. So there's things like lines and wrinkles, hotspots, curves, lighting in the image, which are all a series of masks. Now what it allows us to do is to use the pressure sensitivity that we're all familiar with when using Wacom devices, but directly on a screen. So just to give you a quick sense of what we can do, I'm just going to take a brush, I'm going to create a dummy layer, I'm working directly on the image itself. Now from this, I'm not going to actually correct or change the image itself, I want to just show you the sensitivity levels of what we have within here. The wheel and the side, which is called a rocker ring, and the buttons which we have over here can all be customized when we're using Photoshop, or when we jump into Lightroom. Then when we're in Lightroom, these buttons can be pre-programmed for each of the applications. So what I've done is I've taken a little bit of time to customize the buttons so that if I want to increase the brush size, I don't have to go to the keyboard, I don't have to keep going stretching across to the plus and the minus to get bigger, or sorry, the brackets to get bigger or smaller, or even holding down keys on the keyboard and start brushing to get bigger and smaller. I'm not stretching across. So what I did is just took 2 seconds just to go through and change some of the buttons so I can get bigger or smaller brush sizes.
There are also user assignable buttons on the new stylus. What's different about the stylus, and can we see those buttons?
Yep, the stylus that we have here is I've programmed it because what I like to do is I don't really use these buttons practically myself. A lot of people have it set up for mouse click and right mouse click, which is the standards. So what I've actually done is I've taken the front button, the very first button, and I use that as my zoom. So whenever I want to zoom in, I don't have to go to the keyboard to zoom in, I don't have to hold keys down on the keyboard. I can literally push the first button, and as you can see, it gives me the zoom tool.
Sure.
So that allows me just to click and hold and zoom straight in. Now once I've zoomed in, if I want to go back out again, then the buttons that you have as standard would be the pan and scroll, and as soon as you press any of the express keys, it pops up in the top corner as to what the button is. So pan and scroll allows me to move it around, it's just we're all familiar with. And then we come to our option key. The option key when you're on the zoom tool automatically gives you the minus. So it's an easy way for me to zoom in and zoom out, and pan around.
And also you've got your eraser at the top there.
We do. Just flip the pen upside down,
Yep.
and you automatically go straight through to an eraser tool.
So we've got 4 buttons plus the rocker button. Oh, and with the 5th button in the middle of it.
Yep, the rocker button. The top 2 as I've got set up are going to be from a brush, brush increase, brush decrease. What I've done is I've programmed it because a lot of times when you're using Photoshop, you're going to change the foreground and background color when you're playing with masks. So the best thing to do here is to have a button set up on the rocker wheel, which allows us to change the foreground.
We also have the
colors.
power button there, and we have a USB port there for more peripherals, and then this is just a light to show we're on.
LED light.
Would you mind holding it in your lap so we can see what that's like? Because I want to see, how much do you find that gets in your way?
To me personally, it doesn't get in the way whatsoever. There's not one option. I'm left-handed, so I have the buttons down the right-hand side, and I have it sitting on my knee. If I'm back in Belfast and we're in the training room, then this is exactly how I would feel comfortable. desk here in front of us is a little bit too tight, but I'd be sitting back on a chair with this in my hand. I would also have a Bluetooth keyboard which would sit just beside me, so that if I do need to do proper text work, if I'm using InDesign, I need to input content, then I have straightforward access to that. But one of the things I like about this 13-inch is this onboard keyboard display. So again, one button on the rocker wheel can call up a keyboard display. I'm not suggesting you sit and do lots of text within this button, but it's simple, straightforward text. If we had a Photoshop file and wanted to put some text into it, one button can click in, you get straight access into the keyboard where you can go click, click, click.
Got it.
And then one button straight out again.
That's great. Thank you, Ian. That's really helpful. Thanks a lot. Please check out full availability, pricing info on the post here. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching.